serious tip about domestic violence.
Yes.
I'm going to share a lot of shocking things with you all that you all are not aware of. And it's happening right in your home, believe it or not. Because one thing about domestic violence is silent. And that's the first thing we have to understand. People look at domestic violence as something, okay, it's physical all the time. Okay, it wasn't a bruise or, you know, nothing visible to the eye of the next person, including your physician. And a lot of doctors are being educated today to learn how to look for signs and symptoms of women, because we have a tendency to be so undercover about what we're doing and what's taking place in our household. So one thing I want you all to understand about domestic violence is it's verbal. A person could say something to you and you would have a tendency to overlook it. You have a tendency to brush it up under the rug and say it's not. He just said something, or since men are here, I'm going to respect you all too. I'm not going to beat y'all up today.
Amen.
When I normally do. And I'm just going to be honest. But domestic violence also brings along sexual abuse.
Yes.
Now this is one that's going to really shock you all. We have a tendency to feel that we're being loved because the sex is rough. And I want these young people to hear me. Okay? Sex is not rough. Understand? It's gentle. A person respects you of who you are. When it gets physical with the punches and let's tie you down, believe it or not, that's domestic violence. Okay? And I want you all to keep this in mind, and I'm going to walk back here because I know a lot of young people are about this. Sometimes we settle just to have a fact in our mind to say, I have somebody. And we accept. We don't stand our grounds as a woman, a strong woman, because a lot of us have taken that slave thinking and brought it right on into today. We got to let that go. See, back in the day during slavery time, they had to accept a lot of things just to get by, called survival. They had to tolerate a lot of abuse just to say, I have and I can feed my family. But times have changed, ladies. We don't have to go through that now. We fought years ago for our rights to have a voice and an opinion. We have the right to stand our grounds as women. And one of the sisters said earlier, we are like, we hide behind the scene. I'm going to rephrase what she said. We hide behind the scene of thinking, okay, he pays the bills, he puts a roof over my head, he gives me pretty things, okay, he gives me a rock, okay, he takes me on nice little trips. Pay attention. This is your reality check. That's a cover up for a butt whipping. See? And then they do it so well. They make it look so graceful. So we have a tendency to say, oh, he loves me, he had a bad day.
Excuses.
That's one bad day. Let me finish talking. I will take your question at the end. I do not like being interrupted when I'm speaking, and I'm not being disrespectful. Okay? So you have to understand that domestic violence can stir from lack of finances. If the finances is not right in the household, it creates a problem. It becomes emotional. Okay? You start seeing all these things taking place, you know, because I can't do what I'm supposed to do as a man, or I can't do what I'm supposed to do as a woman, and then you get all this tension fired up in the household. Then it leads to what? Verbal abuse. You should have did your part as a woman. You should have did this. You should have did that. You know, then it comes denial. Nobody wants to hear or accept their own actions. Maybe I lost my job, or I was sick and I lost a lot of time at work. But we don't see those things. So that creates an issue in the relationships, you know. So you have to start paying more attention to your surroundings and understand that we have so many people. I'm going to share some numbers with you all. And these numbers are true numbers. These numbers are pulled from all over the world. And I'm going to go ahead on and speak about local numbers. Here alone, well, in Orange County, there are over 1 million cases. 1 million cases. And I'm not stating for what I assume. These are facts, okay, that I pulled just for you all today. These cases are domestic violence and domestic violence only. Okay, out of just between June of last year and we coming up on a year, there have been 6,800 deaths from domestic violence. Okay, now Osceola County, out of 308 cases, 2,132 women has lost their lives. Okay. I got Sanford here too. Let me pull Sanford up. What is Sanford? Is it Seminole County? Okay, that's fine. Here we go, right here. Just here in Sanford, you got 442,000 cases. Okay? Death fatality, 2,350. This is for real. See, so stop acting as if it would never happen to you, because you never know. I got a report from the Orange County domestic violence, okay, and it says this, that victims of domestic violence may be trapped in domestic violence situations through isolation, power, and control. Cultural acceptance, lack of financial resources, fear, shame are to protect their children as well. As a result of abuse, victims may experience physical disabilities, chronic health problems, mental issues, and limited finances, as well as poor ability to create healthy relationships. Victims may experience psychological problems such as post-traumatic stress disorder. Children who live in the household with violence often show psychological problems from an early age, such as aggression, which may later contribute to continuing the legacy of abuse when they reach adulthood. So a lot of our children, they sit and they see a lot of things. Back in the day, a child couldn't be seen. Y'all remember that? Our parents, if they see you, where they go? Go to your room. We weren't allowed to see a lot of things, which I respect that, because now I realize parents was protecting their children. You know. So traditionally, domestic violence was mostly associated with physical violence. Terms such as wife abuse, wife beating, and battering were used, but as has been declining in popularity due to efforts to include unmarital problems and partners abuse others physically. Female perpetrates in same-sex relationships. Domestic violence is now commonly defined broadly to include all acts of physical, sexual, psychological, and economic violence. It's domestic violence. See, so we have to really come to reality and start thinking, okay, now that I know this information, where do I go from here? I tell every woman and every man, write. Get you a book. Start writing out issues that you have in your relationship and open up the lines of communication with your partner. That's very important. You know, because if we don't have that line of communication, can't nobody read your mind. And that will slow down a lot of things and get out of this road. I don't want to talk, I don't want to tell, I'm a man, I'm a woman, this is my duties. Let all that stuff go. Because y'all see the crime rates are getting so, I mean, it's not even a word for it anymore. That's just how serious it is. Okay, so start opening up the lines of communication in your relationship, in your household. Share this information with your children. Let them know how serious it is. So we can lower these numbers in black women, white women, all women, and men losing their lives. I'm going to say this right quick and I'm going to turn it back over. Whether we realize or not, they got this new thing they got going on now, a way of abusing and killing women. They're actually pouring acid on them.
Yeah, I heard
acid. And that acid, everybody know about acid. No, acid is nothing to play with. You know, so be aware of that. Share that with your children. They say it's a silent killer, but it's painful. You know, so I want you all to really take care of yourself. Spread the love among your children, your families, and just keep that bond tight. Bring it, if it's not tight, make it tighter than it ever been. Okay? And I love you all. And if you have any questions, you can talk to me after the event, and we'll go from there. All right? Thank
you. And it takes, far as we know, it takes at least a woman 7 times before she really leaves. Take them 7 times. And then as advocates, when you can't just tell them to leave because that could be that woman's life. And so we have to consider maybe your girlfriend and maybe your daughter. You know, you have to make a plan. So that's why we have so many deaths. But usually it takes almost 7 times before they leave. But we do have prevention. There's information on the back table. As Dr. Corinne just gave you all that information, please pick it up because you may know someone or some child. And what happened with domestic violence, it affects our children.